Hi everyone. Is the Yaesu FT3D a right-handed radio or a left-handed radio? Now, keep in mind I'm new to ham radio and I'm really trying to understand the design of the FT3D. So for some of you, you already know the answer and it's kind of like a duh, that's the right answer. But for those who are still learning about ham radios, like myself, I think it's going to be very insightful, some of the information I'm going to give you. So when I started using the FT3D, I was told that I should make sure that the FM band was wide and that my gain on the microphone was high. Sure enough, it was on wide and the microphone gain was at 6 out of 9. So that was kind of puzzling until I noticed where the microphone port is, and it's on the left side of the machine. So when I use my right hand, it will sometimes cover the hole. Well, duh, it's going to be muffled, and that makes a lot of sense. So I started to think, that's a poor design, but it probably isn't. And that's because usually people are right-handed, and when you're using a radio, most likely you're writing information, maybe driving the car, maybe using your phone, or doing something else with your right hand, your dominant hand. And using the radio with your left hand, the palm of your hand does not cover the hole. And so that makes sense. If you have the radio on your right hand, the PTT button is kind of awkward with your index finger. Not quite. Sort of, it's okay, but it's not super comfortable. It's comfortable, but not super. On your left hand, there's a contour, and I remember this when they were when these radios were at Ham Nation. People were talking about this contour of the button. Well, it's contoured for your thumb, and it easily, nicely fits there. So that makes sense. Now, when I drive and might use this radio like this, or with the car antenna, I'll be using my right hand because I usually like to drive with my left hand because I can turn, the turn signals on the left, I can turn the wheel more easily with my left arm, more comfortable that way. So I'm talking with my right hand. I usually don't talk with my left hand in the car because the window is in the way. Yes, you're not supposed to use one of these rubber duckies inside the car. I get it. And yes, you're not supposed to be talking on the radio like this while you're driving. But for an emergency or for getting some information very quickly, that might be the case. Usually I'll have this phone secured in an area, and I'll use maybe one of these microphones, external microphones. So ultimately, I think these radios are meant to be held on your left hand, and using your right hand, you do what you need to do, writing notes, maybe, like I said, driving a car or something. So keep that in mind. If you are using it with your right hand, make sure you're not covering the microphone port. Okay, so I hope that gives you an insight on the design of these radios.